So today we'll be doing some Texas rig fishing. This is pretty much how I grew up. This is pretty much how I taught myself to bass fish. Haven't done any serious Texas rig fishing in years. So I decided to kind of go back to my roots, put some time into this, see if I still got it. It's a plane. Okay, now that the plane passed by, I have a buddy of mine who said I catch way too many fish on the first cast, so this first cast is from my buddy Ray. There's a lot of weeds in here. Got one. So here's number one on the first cast. It's a tiny one. This lake doesn't have a ton of big ones, but I've caught a few 3 and 4 pounders in here, so hopefully you can hook into one of those. So this is pretty much what I'm using right now. Here comes another plane, so give it a second. So this is just basic worm Bass Pro Shops tournament series. It's got a 2-aught extra wide gap hook or off shank hook, and it's just got like 1/8 weight. That's it, nothing too fancy out of it. I will later on switch to a lizard as well as maybe a craw. Just kind of try to fish different baits or different soft plastics, but the same technique. This looks like a pretty good spot here. I have some weeds here and pretty much an open hole surrounded by the weeds, so I'm gonna cast in there first and kind of watch my line. Okay, hit the ground. Now I'm just kind of shake it off the ground a little bit. Sometimes I'll make it jump 2 or 3 little hops. Other times just kind of drag it along the bottom. So just depends. You kind of have to get a feel for what the fish kind of want. So nothing to where I thought the fish were gonna be, so now I just start fishing around there. Make sure I cover all the water. There's a little one. Tiny little one. But he saw my worm drop and he was all for it. I felt a tap tap, so I'm just gonna pick up some slack. I'll set the hook. It got some weeds. Okay. Another one. I don't know how I ended up hooking him behind the eye, so I'm trying to minimize hurting him. I'm just gonna cut off. Just gonna cut off my hook. Just kind of let him go. Okay, so this is pretty much what I've been using. It's got a 1/8. It's got a 1/8 ounce bullet weight. I've caught 3 fish with this, so I'm just gonna switch out now. Okay, so the first soft plastic I had was that 6-inch Bass Pro Shops Tournament Series little worm. Now I'm just using a Zoom 5-inch lizard. I think this is watermelon seed is the color. So let's give this a shot. Okay, I felt tap tap. I'm just gonna pick up some slack. I'm gonna set the hook. Little one, little squeaker. That was the first one on this Zoom 5-inch lizard. I'm gonna keep using it. Okay. So once I felt the tap tap tap, I just kind of picked up some slack, just so when you set the hook, you have enough power to kind of drive that hook through the soft plastic and into the fish. So number 2 on that little lizard. They're all tiny little squeakers right now. I knew it would catch a ton of small ones, but like I said, there are a few bigger fish in here. Hopefully we can get one to bite. I didn't even feel him strike right there. I was 4 feet from coming out of the water, but I saw my line get picked up and start moving to the side, so kind of set the hook on that. So that's number 3 on the lizard. Come on, there he goes. Okay, so this little lizard is pretty beat up now. Gonna go ahead and switch out, see if I have a craw in my bag. So I thought I had brought some other craws, but This is the only one I have. Came from a mystery tackle box, kind of creature baitish, craw. Almost looks like a baby brush hog, sort of. So gonna give this a shot. I do have a baby brush hog in my bag. We'll give that a shot next. But I only have a June bug color one, but I'm sure it'll work just fine. So gonna give it a shot with this for now. There we go. Finally one on the craw. Basically what I've been doing the whole morning, just casting on that backside of the weeds, and then when I get to the front of it, just kind of drop it right in front. Still little ones, but just need to kind of dial in and kind of find where these fish are kind of stacked on. But right now, a little craw. Finally caught one. Let's keep going. Another one on the little craw. Tiny, tiny, tiny. The structure on this side has changed, or the cover on this side has changed significantly. On that side, it was just weeds, 10 feet wide. And on this side, it's a gradual slope into a pretty steep drop off and very little to no weeds. So now I'm pretty much just fishing the drop off, just kind of casting past it and then kind of working my way back this way. So that was the first one from the drop off. Right now I thought I had a fish, but I actually have somebody's fishing line. And this looks like 100 pound. So I'm gonna try to, it's kind of stuck, so I'm gonna try to cut off as much of this as possible so it's not hanging in the water. This is how much line we just took out of the water. The other side was snagged pretty good, so I couldn't take it, so we'll just take this with us and throw it out when we get home. Okay, so the next bait is this 4-inch Zoom Dead Ringer, watermelon chartreuse color, and we'll see how he does. You might have a fish on. Yeah, I just felt it get kind of heavy. Even though I didn't feel a bump, I felt it get kind of heavy. And it's just a little one. So, okay, that's the first one on the Dead Ringer, 4-inch Zoom Dead Ringer.